Right, here's a fun one to get started with. My apologies for the lighting and positioning that in this vid, I'm just kind of doing it off the cuff. But this is the brand new Neca Toys Alien and Predator set. Neca have had the license for AvP, for the AvP franchise and Alien and Predator franchises respectively for about, I think, sort of 6 or 7 years, about since the time the first Alien vs Predator came out, I think, because McFarlane Toys used to own the license, and then Neca grabbed a hold of it. And for the better, I think. Neca have produced toys for AvP Requiem, which were the best thing about that film, the toys, never mind the actual film, that was rubbish. And have since done toys for Predators. They've done a few single Aliens based on the first and second films, Alien and Aliens. As for Predators, they've just stuck with Predators. But here's a box set, which McFarlane Toys did a version of years back, of the first Alien and the very first Predator. And they've got the skulls of the other one, which is quite cool. And on the back, let's have a peek. Like I say, McFarlane Toys did a version of this a few years back. That was cool, really great display piece, but in terms of articulation, vastly inferior to Neca Toys. It was sort of, I was 13 when I got it, the original set of these two lovely, handsome gents. And I just found it so difficult to play with as a 13-year-old. It was just like, this is annoying. But it became a great display piece back in Manchester, my bedroom in Manchester, sitting on top of a shelf, and it looked great, but hopefully I'll be able to do a lot more with these guys. These guys will look wicked on a shelf, and hopefully do a bit of stop motion stuff with them as well, so that should be nice. Interesting to note, Neca have put build your hive and expand your clan with the complete collection. So basically all their Alien and Predator toys so far. So I'm going to open it up. Notice that the ones in the package are a little different from the pictures. As usual, the prototype's usually a little better. But like the Alien looks a bit rubbish with the skull, and the Predator looks a bit better than the one in the box. We'll go into that when we open it. So let's get this thing open. Ooh! Okay, and here they are, people. The Neca Alien vs Predator set. Yes, looking pretty cool. We're going to cover them one by one, so here we go. I'll start with the Alien. Now, before I moved to London, I had quite a few Aliens and Predators, because it's one of my favourite, both some of my favourite movie franchises, the two of them. And my favourite of the Alien movies is the first one, it's Alien. And this is based on H.R. Giger's design from the very first Alien movie. Really nice overall. The detail is very cool. Neca have gone to town on it. Something they've done which is much better than the Aliens that McFarlane did is they've not given it the curved foot like the McFarlane Alien from their Alien vs Predator set had an arched foot. So it meant that unless you were standing him on the base and unless you sort of glued the ankles so that they were stiff as heck, he wouldn't stay stood up. So with this, I mean, he's not balancing on his tail right now and he's stood. Even balanced on the tail, you know, it only offers a little extra support. But cool, overall, nice joints. I mean, the Aliens, they never seem to do much apart from this joint. I don't know what that one's called, but that for the crotch area. So, pretty much if you're posing them, they've got to be stood up. Joint in the ankle, one joint in the knee, rotates at the thigh as well, and no, it doesn't rotate the foot, thought it did. A nice waist thing, which is good for the Aliens. It's a bit stiff on this one. Tail is posable, which is good. Ball joint at the shoulder. Again, a bit stiff because they're more collectibles, they're not toys. Joint there at the top of the bicep. Bit of a cheeky joint going on the elbow. Wrists turn. Head's on a ball joint. And this one's quite nice because it's got a form posability. So even with this massively long head, you can put it in a variety of poses. Something that I did like on the McFarlane one, even though it ruined it a bit, there was a little button at the back which if you pressed, the extra tongue came out. As you can see, he does have one, and if I'm not mistaken, you can pull it right out like a wrong un. Hang on. This is what happens when you chew your fingernails, everyone. There we go. It's a bit disappointing because it just kind of sticks out downwards. Ah well. One problem with that is you have to open the jaw to get to it. And the jaw is posable, which is a nice feature. But the problem is, to open it properly, it ends up coming out at the top here. So you have to kind of squeeze it to get it back in. But overall, nice figure. Looks very cool on your shelf. Mine's in my kitchen because I'm a bit weird. I like to be stared at by alien killers when I'm making a pasta. So, yeah, really nice figure there with the alien. One of my favourite alien figures I've ever owned, and I've owned a few. So I'd probably give it, no word of a lie, about, 8 out of 10? No, do you know what? 9 out of 10. I'm going to be generous. 9 out of 10. Very cool figure. Right, next onto the Predator. Check him out. Again, shorter than the alien because they're in scale. The alien is massive. I'm going to move the camera down, take a better look at him, see what we can see. Right, the Predator is based on the Predator's appearance in the first Predator movie, Predator, again my favourite of the Predator series. It comes with quite a few add-ons and accessories based on the costume, really cool, so let's get started. Little feet, which are ball jointed, so you know, nice posability, unfortunately a bit loose, which happens a lot with ball jointed feet on heavy characters. Bendable knees, nice and stiff, always good. They turn at the knee, which means it's kind of pointless, but they also turn at the thigh. Turn at the hip as well, waist rotation, ball jointed head, sorry I keep missing the camera, ball jointed head, ball jointed wrists, decently ball jointed elbow. It's not, I like these ball joints, and one in the shoulder, so again, maximum posability from this guy. Extendable wrist blade, which is a bit fiddly, but you know, what can you do? Unfortunately no computer panel opening like they did in the McFarlane figures. That's a bit of a shame. But again, yeah, nice posability in the hands and that. Posable gun, of course. And then there's something they come with, which I'm not going to do, actually. It says it on the pack. Detachable weapons cache and medicine and all that. If you've seen the film, you know he's got all like his bits and bobs there to help him recover. Problem with that is, once it's off, it takes about an hour to get back on. Now, one of the lesser done Predator faces for the Predator figures, when a Predator figure's made, it usually either has the mask on or the full-on, bared open, roaring mouth. So it's nice to see a figure with sort of the closed mouth. Shame about that, though, is I believe the McFarlane Predator 2 figure, they did 2 Predator 2 figures, and one of them had a closed mouth. It came with a mask accessory, and because the mouth was closed, the mask just slid quite easily over his face. So that would have been a nice touch, I think. But yeah, otherwise, really nice figure. I do have one little problem, and this is where it gets mega geeky, people. This is the Predator from Predator. Now, obviously, the design for that Predator was recently brought back in the movie Predators, the threequel in the series, and this is the classic Predator from that wave. Again, very cool figure. It's pretty much the same. They've based this one on the sculpt of this one in terms of articulation. They've coloured this one a bit lighter, like he is in the film. What I have noticed, though, is that, and this comes from me drawing Predators growing up, like sketching them in notepads and stuff, is that obviously he's got a different sort of chest armour like they do, and his arm plates are a little different, same sort of blade and that. But one thing I have noticed, this is from drawing him a lot as a kid, is that the Predators tend to have very dark eyes. Now, if you see there round the eyes is a lot darker on this figure. It may just be the sculpt, it may just be shadowed darker, but it's, you know, it's a darker shade, especially on his right eye there, actually. It's a bit funny. Whereas this Predator has got very light areas around his eyes. And it may not seem obvious at first, like when you got him on the shelf, you can't really spot, but he just sort of looks more human in a way, which is a shame, because, again, it's only a little niggle, because it's when I used to draw them. I used to make sure I gave them the big dark circles. But overall, looking at these two Predators, I had a lot of Predators again back up in Manchester. I'd get them out to compare, but I don't have them with me because they're in Manchester. I love them. I think they're wicked. Apart from the tiny little eye thing, I think they're amazing. So let's get rid of him because he's not in this set. Bye-bye. Over here. So here they are, the Predator and Alien from the Neca Alien and Predator set. The only downside in comparison to the original McFarlane set is that the McFarlane set, for the same price, which is $34.99, bit hefty, came with a base, which was an alien egg base, and it had 3 facehuggers and some light-up eggs, which was a really nice touch, and it was roughly the same price. It's a shame. However, what's missing in base is more than made up for, I think, in articulation and detail. These figures are amazing. If you're a fan of either the Alien or Predator films, I'd highly recommend getting these little fellas on your shelves because they look so scary and so cool. They come with one accessory separate from the Predator's weapons, which are these skulls. This is based on, I believe, Predator 2. This is the trophy cabinet in Predator 2. Danny Glover, who's too old for this poo, I'll say, stumbles across the trophy room, and an alien skull is present on the wall, which is what kickstarted the whole Alien vs Predator franchise. Really nice little accessory. And I believe this, the Predator skull, I'm not sure if it's in Predator 2. I watched it again recently and I couldn't spot it, but it's definitely from Predators. There's one of them lying around in the campsite. So again, not from the two films that these two fellas are from, but very nice little accessory either way. So, cool, yeah, first full-on review video, the Alien vs Predator NECA set. Tell me what you think. If you've got it, let me know. If you fancy getting it now you've seen this review, let me know. If you think it's extortionately expensive for a toy, which it is, but they're very cool, let me know. Also, let me know what you'd like to see reviews of in the future. I've got Marvel Universe figures, pretty much every Doctor Who figure that's come out in the last couple of years, Batman Arkham Asylum sets, Buzz and Woody classics from Disney, you name it, I've got it. So whatever you'd like to see a review of next, let me know in the comments. Bye, people! Ooh, he's a predator in that. Oh, mince! Oh!